missiles at Europe if the U.S. builds a missile defense shield there. CNN's Jill Doherty is live in Washington with more on the tough talk coming from Putin. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Karen. Well, you know, all of this rhetoric really is pretty disturbing. It's very strong. And don't forget, President Putin, a lot of these comments he's been making in response to questions from reporters. And Mr. Putin can express his opinions very sharply when he gets into that type of context. But you have him essentially saying, we're back to the Cold War. And what he's arguing is the U.S. started it.
Yeah, let's take a look exactly at the full if we could put it up on the screen right now, what he said. It's obvious that if part of the strategic nuclear potential of the United States is located in Europe, we will have to respond. Now, all of this is coming before, the president, our president, invited Mr. Putin to come to his family compound in Kennebunkport for talks.
Right. That will be coming in July, and he's invited him to go to Maine. And this is really one of, I think, the first time that the president has ever done that. It may be that President Bush is trying to bring them together personally and show that they are partners and can work together. Of course they can, but the point is, right now, Mr. Putin is not going to be swayed by, sleeping at Kennebunkport and having a nice dinner. Mr. Putin is on a mission, and his mission right now, flush with oil money, by the way, oil and gas money, is to do what he thinks is good for Russia, and he's going to do it.
Right, and so, it almost seemed like the comments were made to cause a little bit of a division there. How can either side trust each other?
Well, they can trust each other, certainly. They are partners in the war against terrorism. What's really the sticking point right now is the U.S. plan to build this missile shield in Eastern Europe. In Poland, they're putting in 10 missiles that would strike incoming missiles, and also in the Czech Republic. And the U.S. says that this is to protect from countries like Iran that potentially could get a missile and could strike Europe. The Russians are saying that's way beyond what Iran right now is capable of, and they take it as a threat to themselves. So that's the dilemma right now. The U.S. has not been able to convince the Russians that it's not a threat.
And has there been a response to the talk of pointing these their missiles at at Europe?
There have been some comments saying that it is very unfortunate that the Russians don't see the logic of the U.S. Position, and we could be getting some stronger comments today. But really, right now, the rhetoric is very, very strong. Now, what's behind it is really the question.
Right, and it remains to be seen how all of this will play out with the G8 summit getting underway in just a couple of days. Jill Doherty, thanks so much. An emergency landing in Oakland tops our quick hits.